Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Late Night Vision Show. We have a special show for you today. I'm going to let Jason let y'all know why we're here, and I know that he's got a great story, so take it away, bud.
So you may recognize this location. This is at the Sellmark headquarters here in Mansfield, Texas. Sellmark is the U.S. distributor for Pulsar, the owners of Sightmark, which if you listen or watch this show at all, then you hear us talking about Sightmark and Pulsar a lot. And we were here before the SHOT Show doing an interview with these guys, and we're back today. And so I want to introduce y'all. We've got Jeff Murray here. This is the VP of Sales here at Sellmark. And we've got my personal rep, which is Chase Stevens, and he is the Thermal Market Manager for the U.S. For, again, Pulsar. And it is an honor for us to be here today. So thanks for having us, guys.
Absolutely. Of course. Absolutely.
Jeff, welcome back to the show. Chase, welcome for the first time. We're glad to have you back on. I know it's been a while, but we've got some very exciting news to talk about today. And
it's kind of strange for us to be here in the middle of the summer.
Sweating like crazy.
Sweating like crazy, the middle of a pandemic. But to get me to drive up here to the big city, there had to be some big news. And so there is some news, and we're super excited about it. And we are going to go right now and let Mr. Jeff Murray tell us what is the news. Why are we here?
Well, today we are releasing the new Pulsar Thermion XG50. So that nomenclature is a little bit new for everybody. The XG50 is going to be utilizing the BAE 640 12 micron sensor.
So you may have heard that before, the BAE. Now, for all of you out there that have heard it, for all of you out there that have not heard it, the BAE is goes in line with what Trijicon is doing right now with the N-Vision stuff that you see right now. BAE, when you say that name, you are talking about high-end thermal optics. And so I know we've got a lot to talk about with this right now, but the fact that you have it in a new model, the XG50, is something that we're doing a special show about, and we're taking time out to do it. But there's a big reason to do that. And I know that this has got a lot of things involved that we're going to be talking about soon.
Yeah, I know that this is a huge deal, and one of the reasons it's such a big thing for this industry, we believe this is one of the biggest announcements ever in the thermal industry. We felt like it was, more than worth coming up here to do this show live, and the reason is I want to explain to you for those that don't know. These BAE thermal cores are the top thermal core on the market. Again, they're 12 micron, 640 by 480, high resolution, amazing image quality. But one thing to date, before this unit that I hold in my hand was produced, there had never been a BAE thermal core, and if I'm wrong here, somebody can correct me, that I know of that had several features, and this one has them all. Number one is internal video recording. That's something that everybody has always wanted in a BAE 12 micron. I've been told for years that it was impossible. I've been told all kinds of engineering reasons why. I didn't understand any of them, but I was told it was not possible to do, or it wasn't feasible, it wasn't economical. But we're looking at it right here. Also, utilizing the BAE thermal core, we've also got removable rechargeable battery packs, as well as the traditional Thermion internal battery pack. Another really, really big deal that I'm excited about in this core is that it has automatic and semi-automatic calibration. For those who don't know what that is.
You mean you don't have to put the lens cap down to nuke it?
That's exactly
Holy
right.
Cow.
So
oh my gosh.
To nuke this
How
baby,
is it impossible? That's
I don't know
not
how
impossible.
it's possible, but Pulsar did it. So to take this thing, normally what you would do if you don't know is in a unit that uses a BAE thermal core, you would completely close your lens cap and you would press some sort of button. And that would refresh your thermal core, or nuke it is the slang that we use. Just like all other Pulsar units, this unit has completely automatic calibration. It also has semi-automatic, where you're in charge. You don't have to close the lens cap. You press the button one time, it nukes it. And then it also does have the old traditional style of the manual where you do have to close the lens cap. I don't know why you would use it, but it's in here if you want it. So another huge feature, again, I'm just going down the list. It also has the traditional Pulsar Stream Vision app, and that is something, a smartphone app for streaming, to your phone or your tablet. Again, no other BAE unit has that. It's got the picture-in-picture, which I know if you're listening and you're familiar with Pulsar and all the Thermion and Trail units, you're going to say, well, that's all the things they have. Big deal. Well, it is a big deal because we've never seen it in a unit. And I've said the word BAE like 50 times, but it is huge. And I'll just tell you, when I heard about this, I was like, I'll believe it when I see it.
So, guys, I know that, with us being here, it is a special reason. There's a lot. This is a big deal, and I don't want to downplay it because it really is. The fact, everything that you and I have talked about for a long time with the other thermal manufacturers that are producing a unit with a BAE core in it, having to have the MDVR recorder with the wires hanging off or an external battery pack with the wires hanging. You and I both, we hate that. We don't like wires. We don't like strapping stuff to our rifles. We always said we wish that they could come out with a unit that had a BAE core with internal video recording. That was one of the things we were at SHOT Show talking about. Internal video recording. We never liked the fact that you had to close the lens cap to nuke it because if you're out hunting, got hogs running in, got coyotes running in, the last thing I want to do is close the lens of my scope.
Right.
I got a hog chasing me out of the woods. I don't want to close. The only thing I can use to see, I don't want to close the lens cap. And all of that, guys, y'all done it. I don't know what you did. You caught the unicorn that was trying to fly over the rainbow. I don't know what you've done. And I don't know how you did it. I know you want to tell us how you did exactly, but you've done what everybody else has told us is impossible. So kudos to that. This is a huge development. That's why we're here doing this special show. But I think what everybody wants to know right now is what is going to be the price
to be continued. We'll do that on another show.
How much is this going to cost? Because that's a big deal. But I think we've got an answer on that. So let's hear what the price is going to be.
Tell us, drum roll, please.
We do.
$12,000.
Yeah. I mean, I
introductory
think
offer.
Only for you, Jason.
Only for me.
Yeah. We're pretty. I mean, you guys, as y'all are familiar, we're competitors or anybody that utilizes that sensor typically ends up quite a bit higher. 30% more than a traditional XP50.
Yeah, and just mention that real quick before you even give us the price. If you're unfamiliar with this, somebody, and we didn't even mention, so I guess that's important. This is a 3-power unit, 3x, base magnification. So if you're familiar with that in another similar type unit with that kind of magnification, you're going to be looking in the 7,500 plus. So anywhere in the really $7,500, $8,000 range is what we would generally be looking at with a competing product.
Yep, and that's actually what makes it more pleasant to tell you that we will be retailing. We'll have an introductory special on this. And it'll be retailing right out of the gate at $59.99.
$6,000. You heard it
so
here first, folks.
All of the features included in internal video recording, rechargeable batteries, $6,000 introductory offer. That's aggressive, guys. Very aggressive. But again, with that being said, I want to find out because my favorite scope. You
and mine.
Your favorite scope too.
What's on my right?
Yeah, the Thermion XP50. So we were big trail fans. We came over to the Thermion kicking and screaming, kind of. I mean, kind of.
Yeah,
a little bit. Anybody that listens to the show knows.
Now we're
we
there.
love the trail.
Now we're there, though.
Now we've got the Thermion. I mean, we've got the banners hanging from our bedroom walls.
Exactly.
We were big Thermion fans. We came on board. It's like, I didn't like that model style of truck, and now it's my favorite style, body style. So what's that makes this better than the XP50? Because to me, the XP50 is fantastic. I mean, for the money, almost $5,000, it's a great scope.
And before you answer that, I want to say this. The reason that we like the XP50 is because of all these features. Hans and I have said this before. Do we like some of the other units that are more expensive? Absolutely. We love them. They're great units. But he said 2 things. The DVR is hanging off the side of the unit and the battery packs are, external. It's something we don't like. So that's why we've just been so hung on all the features, plus the image quality, plus the price. Now we're just taking the next step, So this is going to be a really big deal.
You got the MDVR hanging off the side with the wire, and then you do it on like, okay, is the light blinking? Let me check over here. Make sure the light on the MDVR is blinking. But so, how does it compare to the XP50, which is already a great scope, a great selling scope for everybody out there?
A couple big things. One, a lot of people are asking why we got into this market. First off, typically Pulsar utilizes ULIS sensors for the longest time. And there was a gap. We felt like there was a hole in the market where the BAE sensor could fill potentially. The biggest thing is the magnification range. So your base magnification in the XP50 is going to be start at 2x, and your XG is going to be 3x. So out of the gate, you have substantially more magnification right out of the gate. When you're comparing both units at base magnification 2 and 3, I will say that I believe the XG has a slightly better picture than the XP50. Where this unit really shines is when you start increasing the magnification in the unit. So when you look at the XP50 at 6x or 8x, and you look at the XG unit at 6x or 8x, where they might have been, 10 or 15% better image quality, the gap starts widening exponentially once you start increasing your magnification. So for the guys that need to ID objects out at 300, 400, 500, 600 yards, have a much better situation with this scope than with the XP scope.
There was one of the, we hear from a lot of people. I heard from a guy today, I want a 640, I want a 12 micron. I don't want to close the lens cap, when I nuke it. But a lot of things that we hear, a lot of reason why somebody may choose another scope that has a BAE core is because they have higher magnification. And this being able to step up and fill that void, where the XP50 is at 2 power, this being at 3 power really gives people that listen to this show that are coyote hunters, that are shooting long ranges. I've been testing, you and I tested the 3.5 power XQ50, and we, the 3.5 power is really not too much for hog hunters down here in the south, in the southeast. So that 3 power, you and I tend to like the scopes between 2 and 3 power, and this is, really fills that void very nicely, and does so 640, 12 micron, BAE core,
all those things. And it's not a replacement for the XP50. Because the XP50 is here to stay. We feel the XP50 at 2x magnification fits a very broad market of hunters. It hits a price point. It accomplishes a lot of things in the market. When we were hunting a couple, like last week, we had a coyote come off our left to the call.
We're going to tell that story.
This is a story I don't like. Go on,
75 yards to the left. One guy had an XP, one guy had an XG. The guy with the XP was able to spot it a little bit quicker, and it took a couple seconds longer for the guy with the XG to spot it. Mainly because with the increased magnification, you will have a little narrower field of view, but that coyote was at 60, maybe 70 yards tops.
Exactly.
So we're talking extreme close distances. So guys that are shooting under 100 yards, where 90% of your shooting is under 100 yards, I would say the XP that's your home run. That's what you need to be. That's what that unit fits that unit fits that application.
Right.
For guys that are hunting big wide open fields that have the ability to spot and stalk game at 200, 300, 400 yards, or even if you're at 100 and you have the ability to shoot your follow-up shots, anytime you're in a big group of pigs, anytime you're able to shoot your follow-up shots at 152, as far as you're comfortable with, this higher magnification will help you in those typical settings.
And it also means we don't have to stalk up as close, which is,
you
can drive the mule and not even have to get off and walk.
Listen
which
to this
is,
guy.
hey,
Listen to
2 thumbs up right now. So one of the things that, I don't want to praise you too much, but no, we do. We do a lot of praising of Pulsar.
Sometimes we feel like it's too much.
Exactly,
we get accused of that on the take.
But we're big fans. I'm going to tell you, we use it personally. We on our personal scopes and
checks in the mail.
Checks in the mail. Thank you. I'm waiting for it now.
So one of the, I think with Pulsar and the products that they have, the improvements that are made through software and firmware updates are huge. And that's one of the things where the recent firmware update they come out with the with our XP50 units. That I mean,
Image boost.
the image boost, detailed image boost. That that is something, and those software updates, firmware updates are pushed out at no charge. I mean, you're basically giving an improvement for.
I said
nothing.
from the beginning, and this, folks, I'll just be honest with you. If I was running Pulsar, this is
true story. He did say this.
I did say this.
That's why you never want him running a thermal company.
No.
A thermal manufacturing company.
Y'all know me. I am as honest as they come, and I want to give everybody the best deal. But what Pulsar did when y'all brought out the image boost and all the firmware updates in January, the Trail series was already discontinued. You just gave those guys a free scope. Because if that image boost had only been for the Thermions, there'd have been a reason for guys to go, oh my gosh, image quality is so much better. I got to go throw away my Trail. But they were given that guys with 3-year-old scopes that are discontinued. I don't know any other manufacturer on the market that will do that. And Hans brings us up about our Thermion XP50s, and anybody knows that owned one prior to January. It was right around the week of SHOT Show when that came out. I was on the way home from SHOT, and we were getting phone calls on the way to the airport in the cab. Guys going, have you done this on your XP50?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, no, not yet. Like, it's a new scope.
Yeah.
And that was with the Thermion. I mean, those scopes only been around a few months. Download the update, and it's there. So my question is that something that we can hope to see on these units?
I think, honestly, if you have any, I mean, Pulsars, as long as they've been around, it's still, you've seen pretty much in every unit they've had, especially since they've introduced the thermal, there's been constant improvements, not only from series to series, if they're on a 2-year design cycle, it's not just series to series, it's within the year. So this is their first kit, like as Jeff was saying, they've been working with ULIS for, 10 plus years. So they've had a lot of experience in actually honing in and getting their algorithm just right to give you the best image with the screens they're working with. This is their initial effort with this BAE. I mean, I think we were showing samples, in our initial samples that we had.
Yep.
Just 6 months ago, there's a dramatic improvement from the samples we had to now. Our initial ones, we were like, maybe it's not really meant for this lens type or this lens assembly, or maybe the eyepiece isn't built for it. And we've seen improvements from then to now. So I only expect that, just been to the factory many times. I've been a handful of times myself. The guys that are really in there, driving the engine behind it all, I think those guys will only get better, and this will only improve through firmware updates throughout the year or years. So I think what you see now will be the least that we'll have. You'll only see step-ups in quality through the firmware. So that's where we're just as excited about that, because, some of our competitors have had this sensor to play with for years, but couldn't get the built-in recording to work. It was never possible, we were told. And in this short amount of time that Pulsar's had to work with them, I think kind of bodes well for what we'll see in the future too.
Yeah, I think absolutely. And I do think there's nowhere to go but up. I think it's a great unit. I'm still blown away that all of these things are packed in here. And again, I don't know. There may be other companies working to get these features in here right now.
Sure.
That may very well happen. But we've been around the BAEs a long time. It hasn't been done. And then I
think we need to say that again. BAE core with internal video recording.
Yeah, can you hear it?
And automatic nuke. I mean,
it's that big of a deal.
It's a big deal, yeah.
And a manual focus.
And a manual focus. Yeah, it's got the manual focus and everything. That's a good point.
The engineers in Lithuania just knocked it out of the park.
That
team they have there is amazing. I've met all those guys. They are world class for their field of what they do and their field of work. And again, like what Chase said, we expect this unit to keep getting better as they've had more time to work with this sensor and this new manufacturer of cores. So we're extremely excited. This is a collaboration that we had with them, and we thought there was a hole in the market, not only in the Pulsar line but in the market in general with what this offers. So we are extremely excited to for Pulsar and BAE to partner together on this and then work with us to get this done.
Yeah, let's restate it once again. Again, the XP50 Thermion 640 17 microns. This is the XG50 640 12 micron BAE core, internal video recording, rechargeable batteries, automatic nuke,
smartphone
app. The same BAE core that you see in the high-end Trijicon N-Vision scopes that everybody talks about, but the people that say, I wish I could get that type of image and something that can record video and not have to have an external.
Color palettes too.
Every feature that you're normally accustomed to with all XG and XP units in Pulsar, or sorry, XQ and XP units is available in the XG.
Yeah, we did not mention picture-in-picture. Has it in it? I'm a big fan of that. I coyote hunt a lot, use picture-in-picture a lot. BAE core with a picture-in-picture display.
And the different color palettes. I know that most of us that hunt a lot use black hot and white hot, so it's not a huge deal. They look cute, but I tell you what I really do like, and I use every time, is a different color reticle. I want to be able to change that from black or white, and if I can get that on a green or blue, a red, something that makes that crosshair. And we were looking at some footage that we had out of this thing, and they're like, "You don't have a crosshair." No, I've got this little bitty one, and I like that because it's green. I can see it, but when I'm recording, if I'm hunting and we're creating content, now I don't have this crosshair this big taking up the whole screen, and it's again, I really like the different color crosshairs.
I'm going to mention something else out there for all the content creators. If you watch some of the other thermal scopes that have BAE cores that are recording on MDVR recorders, and you only see half the reticle because for some reason only records
sometimes
part
that
of it.
happens. Yeah,
that's frustrating. But hey, all of that for right at $6,000 introductory offer. This is a big deal. I'm trying not to get way too excited about it, but
I know.
I hope this is going home with me tonight. But let's talk about the hunt.
This is great.
These yahoos came to Ben Wheeler, Texas. Not a big deal. Wasn't that excited about them coming. Didn't do any work. No prep work at all.
Yeah. No.
Actually, I was out for like a week throwing out corn, 50 pounds of corn at one spot every day because this was I had a bread and butter spot. I had hogs coming in every day from several hours. The hogs were asleep on the bait pile, asleep on it. Yeah. So Jason's like, "Hey, we're testing out this new thermal scope. We want to get some good video. I want to be done by 9 o'clock and be back at the at the camp house where everybody was staying to hang out and talk." I know how that works out. Never works out that way as planned.
So I'm just giving him a little bit of pressure.
Exactly. So I get everything going. Everybody comes out, and I think we kind of hinted to this story a little bit, but
we did talk about the story. We didn't say
exactly why we were here, but this is the reason why we were here was this scope and other scopes we were looking at and testing out. But Jeff and Chase came down to Ben Wheeler, the official hog capital of Texas. It is. You can look it up. It is the official hog capital of Texas. But that night, it was not the hog capital of Texas because nothing came out. It was a very typical Jason and I hunting trip.
It was
pretty typical.
Except when he comes to my place, we just kill,
killing pet
literally
hogs that he's fed for weeks.
Tractor bucket loads of hogs. I come to his place and he takes us to the worst place we could go.
Yeah, so
all right.
We go to the first place. There were hogs there, but it was cat and mouse. We'd go to there and they weren't there. We'd leave and come back and everybody was sweating like crazy.
Yeah, it was hot.
It was 95 degrees, 95% humidity.
It was not fun. But we went to another spot which I thought was my bread and butter, been for a while, and we did have a coyote come out. And I'm saying we killed the coyote with the XG. We killed the coyote with XG50. We do have video evidence. We may not.
There's one member of this team of 4 that says that the guy over here
our spotter.
The guy that didn't have a gun.
The guy didn't have a gun, but he had 2 scopes mounted on this special tripod that he's looking through over here testing.
Yeah.
He claims.
I mean, if coyotes running behind high grass is killed, you guys killed him. No doubt, guys.
Don't ask us if we went over there and recovered it because
we didn't even look.
We were so convinced by the spotter here.
Fans out there, guys, just ask them for pictures. I've said coyote.
Pictures can be produced.
So
I've got to be in it.
Oh wow! Hold up a newspaper.
We trusted our spotter. We did not go over and check to see if the coyote was down. But after looking at the video, we're pretty sure. But it was good to have y'all down to be able to check this out. I mean, we had this unit out in probably some of the worst conditions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody knows if you are anywhere in the southeast part of the United States, end of July, summer night, It had rained the night before.
Post-rain showers.
Yeah.
Post-rain-
Rain
and it,
the day of.
yeah,
Yeah.
it rained on and off the day of. It was humid.
High
more
dew
than
point,
humid.
high humid. It was.
It looked like we were cutting through fog when we came home.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
exactly, and it was for sure. Now this the unit, we were still impressed with the unit, and it did well, and we got a chance to shoot a coyote. We're going to continue to do some more, get some more
We've
video
been
out
using
there.
it. Yeah, I mean, I've been using it ever
Yeah,
since.
you've
then.
got some great video. I
got
know you're
some
going to be
good
putting out.
video out of it. It looks really, really good. I'm really excited. I think that this is going to be the coyote hunter's dream. It's so funny. You mentioned talking to a guy today about this. And
Literally today, about this same thing.
It is, and people say, "Man, I want that XP50, but I want a little more magnification." And this is it. I mean, this is what it's going to be. And I think that as time goes on, we're going to see this could possibly be one of the absolute best scopes on the whole market. It is today.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's amazing. And so I'm excited. The price point is a huge deal to be able, when I heard about this scope and the possibility of this happening, and I'm like, and Jeff knows
You
this.
saw it at SHOT Show, or
I
you
did.
saw it at
No, I
when you
did.
came here before SHOT Show.
Yeah, I did.
And it was a rough prototype.
It was a rough prototype, and it was a prototype. I mean, the thing's halfway working. I mean, but it's like, we've done it. This is it. And I'm going, I'll believe it when I see the final. Like, does it record video? Well, yeah.
It recorded video.
And I was like, well, I want to see. I mean, but now we've seen it. We've hunted with it. I mean, I do.
You didn't think
have
it
this-
existed until we showed up in Ben Wheeler with
I
it.
did not. I did not.
Well, we've
I
been
can't-
talking about it for 5 years about them doing a
Yeah.
BAE, so it was always pie in the sky, a unicorn until.
And I have to
we
tell
got
you all
one.
this. So I'm going to give myself an out. If you've talked to me in the last 8 months and you've wanted something like this, and I didn't say anything to let you know about it, this was the biggest secret I've kept for the longest. I mean, when I bought my wife a wedding ring 2 years ago, I couldn't hold it that long before I popped the question. This is the biggest secret I think we've ever kept, but we've been super excited, and we're grateful to have been able to see it and in action, and it's legit.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, to get everything in there with BAE core and the introductory offer at $1,500 less expensive than comparable models. I mean, that's a very big deal.
When Jeff started talking about this, I was like, okay.
I don't think you should.
I'm just going to say.
Full disclosure, you're going to.
All I'm going to say is, I'm like, what's the price going to be?
Yeah.
What's the price going to be? And he's like, well, I don't know. We'll see. And I'm thinking, it's got to be $9,000-$10,000 if it's got all this stuff in it. And then we still didn't know for sure what the price was going to be. And when they said, we're looking at about $6,000, I'm like, what? That's insanity.
It is.
So
it's a great offer.
is.
I know Jason's got some great video with it already that he's going to put out for all of you listeners and watchers of the show. Right about when we talked about me going to Nacogdoches County to hunt with him, right about the same area where we said he shot my backpack. That's where he was videoing these hogs that he's going to show.
That was a minor detail, and I didn't actually shoot it. I shot
at my
around
backpack.
it.
Yeah,
I shot
like the
around
coyote.
it. Like the coyote.
Yeah.
Hey, we got 3 people here who say
I was
the
telling
coyote's
Jason
dead. I don't
about
know
that coyote.
The
that
3
ran-
shooters.
The 3
saying that
shooters
the
say
coyote's
that it's
dead.
I was telling Jason he had the XG50.
No, we're not supposed to say who had it. No, you're incriminating me now.
So I said that after not seeing anything all night, that coyote ran out in front of the angriest firing line of any thing.
We did see your gravesite that we get a little creeped
Yeah,
out about.
we all saw the gravesite episode. I showed them. They were.
Yeah.
We didn't know about the gravesite episode
No, until we were beside
until
it.
you're literally taking us there
Yeah.
at 10:30 or maybe even later at night, and you're like, oh, this is where we show our guest of the creepiest thing in the world right now.
I did tell Jason after they left, I said, I think they were really creeped out about the graveyard.
Yeah. If y'all don't know what that is, go back a few episodes and go check that out.
I did
You just
get
in a buggy with these two, drive around for 3 hours, and then they just happen to take you by in the thickest part of East Texas where you can't see
fresh
10,
grave.
10 feet. You can't see 10 feet in front of you in either direction because you're going to hit trees and bushes or God knows what. and you look over to the right, and there's a grave site, and they are acting like this is completely normal. Me and Chase look at each other like, what?
It's only normal.
Doing here?
Yeah, it's only normal because we've talked about it for like the last month, or at least longer.
We've almost stepped on like 5 snakes, according to Chase.
Yeah, that's right.
We've got
spiders
probably
all over the
35 spiders making a nest in the middle in the front console.
Anybody who's driving a fresh trail on their property after 6 months knows.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then this comes across.
And then a grave. These guys could not wait to get back to North Texas. I can just tell you. They
saw everything but hogs.
Everything.
I think
I'm offended by that a little bit, somewhat. It is. Well,
they kept saying that. Oh, they're over here. Well, we went over there and they weren't there.
They were. They were.
I'm pretty sure they were just trying to get their steps in.
Well, I will say this. So Hans has to rub it in that the next day he's sending me pictures. He's like,
I've been shooting hogs like crazy.
Here's all the hogs I killed off all those spots. I'm like, golly.
So with all that being said, you've roped the unicorn that's flying over the rainbow.
Right.
Where can people find this unit right now?
Great question. Well, obviously, Outdoor Legacy Gear will be carrying this unit.
Yes.
All right.
Hopefully.
He said it on there. It's going to happen.
No, we're taking a little different approach on this one. This being a kind of a premium high-end unit for Pulsar. We have a select few dealers that will be available for. We have a
U.S. only.
This is only available in the USA market. We have roughly 7 online guys like yourself that are really good at creating content and educating customers, and then we also have some premium brick and mortar stores all across the United States that will have these available as well. So whether you make your purchase online and want to do your research online, or you want to go and actually physically put your hands on it, you have both options. We partnered with some of our best dealers, our best brick and mortar dealers across the United States, and the guys that are out there giving educating customers and providing great content for customers.
Well, folks, I want to say that we are honored and we're thankful to be here. We're thankful to have been a part of this process, be able to go out and test it and hunt with y'all. It really is an honor. We're always glad to work with y'all, and we are thankful for what you're doing in the industry, not just providing great products and great customer service, but innovations and continually improving, and not just taking the status quo. I mean, I think it's safe to say that in the U.S., Pulsar has a huge stronghold on this market. It's just, I don't think that's even anybody could argue otherwise, and it would be very easy for a lot of companies to just sail. Yeah, we can just cruise with this because we're good. But then to come out, and like you said, this was a brainchild of y'all, something that you wanted to do, and you knew that the engineers over there in Europe could do this if they put their mind to it. And I believe that they're probably the only thermal manufacturer that I know of that's working with 2 different thermal core systems.
Yeah, that's something that the layman myself doesn't even quite understand.
Right, sure. me neither.
And the engineers sat me down and talked to me and told me that it's almost we've been utilizing EULA sensors for the last 10 years. Now all of a sudden you have this BAE sensor to play with, and it's got to be integrated into all your existing systems. It's got to be integrated into your Stream Vision apps, all of, your screens, your systems, everything from A to Z. And they did an amazing job. It's almost their equivalent to me was saying, we've been making iPhones for 10 years. Now we're making an Android phone
in just a few months, and
we're
making it as good.
Exactly. So they are the only manufacturer that I know of that are producing units using both platforms of their sensors. So it's truly a tip of the cap to those guys. They're doing a great job. We work with them very closely. They're great people. They're extremely talented. They're always pushing the envelope on what they can do to engage more users, to make this technology more user friendly, to always be pushing the envelope on what you can do as far as image quality goes. So they're truly one of a kind, and we are extremely lucky to be partnered with them, and are excited about the future and what it holds, because there's some great stuff coming.
Well, these are the kind of things that we're excited about. As y'all know, Hans and I, we use this stuff every day. We love it. We hunt with it. We sell it. But we're excited about where this industry is going, and these are the kind of changes that we like to see. They're positive. We're moving in the right direction. Prices lowering, features getting better. Everybody loves to see that. I think it brings more people into the market, and so we're excited. And as always, we thank y'all for tuning in, coming to the Late Night Vision Show for all the breaking news in the thermal industry. We're thankful again to these guys for letting us,
Thank y'all for being here.
come up here and do this. We're very thankful, honored, and blessed. And so we just want to say thanks again to y'all. And if you are interested in this, you can get a hold of Hans and I at Outdoor Legacy, but there's also going to be a lot of other good dealers. Some of these guys are my buddies, and I know there's some other good dealers that are going to have this thing. So we're really excited about it. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Y'all stay safe in the field and keep making those bacon pancakes.